So, welcome back to Confessions of a Beauty Boss, season
Welcome
3.
back.
If you've joined us along in the journey, thanks for listening to us.
Thanks for having us back.
Yeah, it's been wild, hasn't it?
We
The
thought
amount
you'd
of
be fed
people.
up with us by now.
I know. Again, it was that we needed the break. I think the last season, as much as people enjoyed it, we were not in the right headspace for it
Yeah.
at all.
I think we had a kind of, not a poor mindset, but just so much going on. I think,
exhaustion.
Aye, burnout.
Burnout, things going on in the background,
Yeah.
maybe even just like family life, health,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
It was good
Aye.
to get a wee break.
yeah.
And we
So,
always think, well, we keep going. Do
I
people
know.
actually want to know about it? But I think it genuinely reaches people who are in this industry or thinking about coming into this industry. I think that's the kind of audience, and that's why we do
yeah.
it.
And we've got a lot of students that listen to
Yeah.
us, and not not just students, clients
I
as well.
know.
So it's lovely. And it's lovely when people are saying, when are you coming back? You,
Mhm.
I'm used to listening to you on a Friday. So I'm not looking forward to the scheduling part, but I'm
No.
looking forward to being back.
We enjoy this bit, just sitting
Yeah,
gassing,
I
because
know.
it's like out the office for a couple of hours, record a couple, and talk about things that are happening.
I know.
But then you've got to put it all together.
Aye. But do you know what? Carol's in space now.
Yeah,
So
in the
I've got more
academy.
time in my hands. So been a wee bit of changes.
So what's happened then?
Yeah.
Talk about, let's do
So
the updates
first
since
half
the
of the
last
year's
episode.
done.
Yep. We're in, what are we in?
Kate and I are still in menopause.
Oh, worse.
The businesses are been thriving. We've got Katie came back, didn't she?
Yep, her
So
hairdresser.
she is a hairdresser that moved back down south to her family, and she's moved back to Scotland. So she's come
She
back
couldn't
home.
stay away.
Yeah.
She just loved us Scottish. And when she came back, we were so touched because she reached out, because she had another couple of options of where to go back to, but she reached out and
She
said
wanted to come
just
back to
wanted
her
to come
urban
back to Urban Family,
Yeah,
which is great. And she's thriving. She's just
she's
picking
amazing
right up.
hairdresser. We have Leah.
Yeah.
So she's our new therapist who has came from Clarence. She is phenomenal
Yep.
and slotted lovely into the
Mhm.
team, hasn't
Yeah,
she?
we've had a lot going on. A couple of the
Yeah.
girls haven't been too well, but we're hoping to get them back soon. And
Yeah.
it's just been a lot
Manic.
of change.
Yeah.
A lot of change, a lot of ups and downs. And I think that really affects you as well when you're trying to juggle all
Juggle.
of that as well.
Academy, making big
Mhm.
moves.
Yep.
We've taken the plunge and we've taken on a permanent member of staff.
hmm Which was a
So,
big worry, because
yeah.
we know from the urban side of things how hard it is with staff, because you've got to take into consideration the extra PAYE and holidays and stress and making sure that person settles in right.
yeah.
And
With Urban, it's a
but-
no-brainer because you've got a salon, a functioning
have to.
salon that's busy every day. With the Academy, we need to hustle to get that work in.
Yeah.
So it's to have someone who is busy all the time
Yeah.
and being able to pay their wage because they're busy.
Yeah.
So that was probably the poor mindset we had for.
Yeah, that
We
was
probably
our
should have taken Carol on a year
our
ago.
block. I know.
Yeah.
And we kept, every time we think about it, we both kind of went, oh, what
I
if she's
know.
got no anything to do?
And I'm like, I'll teach.
I know.
I'll do this. So
You could.
I
It
couldn't.
just became.
I literally couldn't do
That's
it
where,
anymore.
when that first 6 months of the year, it was like kind of that burnout
Aye,
feeling, that
exhaustion.
whole too much.
Yeah.
You can't focus on anything. Everything becomes blurry. You
Yeah.
become
And
anxious
that
about
brings me
everything.
on to our subject choice.
Yes.
Kate never knows because I think it's more authentic chat when we do it
Yeah.
this way. You can see the panic coming on her face every time. But so we've already completed the first half of the year. Something I've realised this year, that we've spent so much time chasing our goals, building the business and always looking ahead. But I've literally lost the passion along the way. I've not enjoyed it. There's no laughs anymore. It's just not been a pleasurable experience this year. So I think going forward, it's more about living in the moment, celebrating the wins, even though we keep saying we need to do it, actually doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And remembering what it's actually for.
Yeah. And we have done mindset for so long. You've been doing it a lot longer than me. I've been doing it since I started with you, where we read all the books and
Yeah.
we know all the podcasts. And it's that whole, you don't have to work so hard at it. Just
No.
believe it,
Yeah.
see it, visualize it, manifest it, whatever you want to call it, and it will happen. You have to make take the small incremental actions to make it happen. But that fear, and then you recluse into yourself because you're frightened of what will happen if it doesn't happen, instead of just going
And
out
not
there
even
and doing
just
it.
that, it's just dealing with the day-to-day tasks. I mean, even yesterday we had a
Yeah.
day in the salon and it's just like, we keep going back and forth about getting a general
I
manager
know.
in. And it's the fear of money
Mhm.
again, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
we do well in the salon, but that'll be a big wage
Yeah.
that goes out for someone to oversee the
Yeah.
whole salon,
Because
all the operations
we
side
keep saying, oh,
behind
they
it.
don't generate an income. However, it's so important that if they
They'll
take
create
that
so much
off,
time
yeah, for
and
us,
less stress for us. And it's not like our team are hard work. They're certainly not. We're actually very blessed with our team, but it's 15 girls working
Mhm.
for you. It's different dynamics. It's working with the public.
Mhm.
It's just, there's a lot, like yesterday was one of those days that we literally could not get anything done, even down
Yeah.
to filming with our social media girl for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We were still getting interrupted
Yeah.
because there was just constantly things going
Yeah.
on.
And yesterday, I don't know if anybody else felt it, but the
It was
energy.
something heavy, wasn't there?
It was just weird. It
I
was
like,
like
is there a moon?
complaints. We never get complaints.
we
Not
never
never,
get
but we
complaints.
don't get
Very
a.
rarely.
I was going to
Considering the
say that.
size of team we have and the
I know.
volume of clients that come
Yesterday it
through
was
the
like,
door.
oh,
Yeah.
something about this and something about that, and we were going, what is going on? And every one of them was solvable. We
Yeah.
literally called the clients and everything was fixed. There was nothing. There wasn't anything major, but it just
What-
felt as though they were
Maybe
coming
not
one
everything
after
was
another.
resolved, but
Some things you just can't
sometimes
resolve.
you just can't please
Yeah,
everybody.
I was going to say that. There's
But-
things you just can't.
Yeah, it's out your control.
I know, and again, that's how we're saying how we felt for you, how you felt for the first half of the year. Maybe that's the way that person felt.
Yeah, exactly.
So
there's
you just
there's
have to
probably a lot
take-
going on in
Yeah.
the background of their life
Yeah.
to make them react in the way
Yeah.
that they
Yeah,
reacted.
and it's good
Because
that if you can
sometimes
see
you're
that.
looking at the scenario and you're like, see the
Really?
grand scheme of this, like it's
Really?
a treatment, it's not. But yeah, it's obviously something's been triggered there.
Yeah, of course.
So, right, let's go on. So, it's just a couple of different bullet points to go over, and there's probably a lot of stuff that we've reiterated
Mhm.
before, but something that we spoke about lately, we're talking about, I know we always go back to social media, but it's obviously your biggest form of advertising, and we're always very cautious of looking professional. So, there is a difference between looking polished and being professional, and I think that's where Urban comes into. We've done a lot of kind of silly videos
Yeah.
lately, haven't we? And the engagements went through the
I
roof.
know.
And there's nothing unprofessional about it. It shows how fun our team is.
Yeah.
However, we have heard comments here and there being like, oh, that's not very professional. But
Would they do that at Glen Eagles?
sorry, Adam, that's not you. That's not a dig at you. But just in general, people probably view us, because we've got the academy as well, that we shouldn't be looking like we're having a bit of fun.
Mhm.
But
Any salon
not
does run on.
robots.
See, if you look at other salons, social media, there's loads, thousands of them have
But I
fun.
don't think it is the salon side. I think it's
It's
the
the
academy
academy,
side that people
definitely,
view us
definitely.
from.
And I think people still blend the two together. I
Yeah.
think people very much still complicate them because we still get new clients coming through the door that think it's students that are
Yeah.
maybe going to work on them in treatments.
but it is the kind of hilarity side of it. It's like, oh, there's a lot of messing about and stuff. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, that was a social media morning
Yeah.
where we batched some content and the
Yeah.
girls had fun. We are a playful, fun salon,
Yeah.
but it doesn't take away that our girls are 100% professional and do outstanding work on their
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that's where sometimes the waters can be muddied,
Mhm.
where
Yeah, no,
people
I
look
agree.
in.
I agree, and we don't tend to do as much of that type of social media or any at all for the academy.
No.
We don't
Maybe
show
we
the
should.
fun side,
Yeah.
you know, because maybe people think it's very serious because it is a crossover between the two. What we have, the professionalism we have in the salon, we teach that to the students in the academy of how they become that professional,
Yeah.
but they can still have fun. Even in the
Exactly.
classes when they're in doing their training, you know, you do fun games,
Yeah.
you do things with plasticine to make them retain information about organs, and so there's got to be elements of fun. Nobody wants to come to a
No.
place where it's
And we
work
aren't
serious.
robots.
No.
It's
No.
unrealistic to think even big spa directors don't have a wee bit of fun.
Of course.
I know.
They have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
We know.
we just don't see it.
Yeah.
But it's funny because even, do you know how the social media we had done the Witch Boss and they
Yeah.
all stood behind us because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think it was dead obvious, the answers, because our characters are
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah.
But I was going to share it in LinkedIn and something stopped me doing it. And do you know that way I'm like, why?
I know.
Why? I don't know. Honestly,
Aye.
I don't know why, like the fear of judgment or
Possibly.
looking unprofessional.
Looking unprofessional because we are dealing with 5-star luxury spas throughout the UK
Yeah.
and we're trying to create this professional, you know, idea that we're going to give them polished professional, you know, robots.
Yeah.
Not robots, but you know that whole so professional that they don't deviate and have fun. but
Yeah.
they do.
It is,
Just
it's-
human
I
beings.
wish everybody would just be a bit more relaxed.
I know. So I was talking about this to you the other week there, and we were talking about podcasts
Mhm.
and some people and some of the things they say on them. We listen to Francesca Amber. Absolutely love her. Shout out to her. We always give her one. But how down to earth, she'll swear on it. She'll tell you about something that happened to her. She'll tell you, all her raw experiences.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you're like, oh. And then the other one that I listen to is the Buckleys.
Yeah.
And the girl's Scottish and she's married to the English guy. And the way they speak and people writing in stories and they're just out there. And I'm like, we couldn't do that.
No, but I suppose they're from the entertainment
Yeah,
industry.
suppose so, yeah, but-
Industry, so they've got a different field than us. But why
we've
should it make any difference?
We've got fun stories, fun things happen to us all the time,
Yeah.
but we're just like, I can't share that.
I know.
Maybe
I
we
know.
should. Tell us, do you want us to share all the naughties?
Don't get us cancelled though. So people don't, even especially in social media, like for instance, I think maybe if we did show more of a playful side, because we're at a bit of a stumbling block just now with the Academy, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're just trying to find our feet what the best content looks like, because we have got like Amy is literally, she's just a white witch, isn't
Yeah.
she, when she comes to doing
takes a
videoing
couple
and
of
stuff
bits
like
of
that.
a couple of bits
Like
of
that
social
we
and
think's rubbish,
uh-huh.
like videos that we've created, and she makes it
She makes it into something good,
phenomenal.
interesting.
So she has really elevated videos and stuff for the Academy as well. But the ones that always get traction are us, like even visiting people, not us
Yeah.
like punting courses or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's because that's boring as
Yeah.
well. It's us like showing real life, or maybe telling people that it's not all it's cracked up to be
No.
sometimes.
No.
And
And I think
Being
just
real
you
and
and I
authentic.
sitting here talking about the benefits of what happens in a course will get us a lot more traction than doing a video and putting it on social media.
I know.
About the day-to-day.
Mhm.
How many times do people phone up and talk about the spa therapist course and they'll
Yeah.
go, so what actually happens? What does it look like? What does my day-to-day look like?
Yeah.
How many days a week do I come to you? How many days do I study when I'm at home? People don't, as much as it's written on the website, they just
Don't know what that looks
They
like.
don't know what it looks like in real life. We should
probably
maybe
just do
video.
more vlogs,
Yeah.
like day in a life
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. Like this week when we've had
I'd love Carol.
a
I'd like her
class
vlogging. She'll be like, "Ah."
I'll video you, Carol, just you talk. I know.
I
But
know.
that's what people are interested in. They're interested in the behind the scenes, what's actually happening, as opposed to us sitting there going, buy a course.
I know.
The price is
I
this.
know. Do you want your new career?
I know.
What's this look like?
I know.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one. So I've been reading a wee bit of Gabby Bernstein. Is it Bernstein? Is
she's
that how
really
you
good.
say? Yeah. And something that stuck out recently to me is, because we've had a lot of rejection over time,
Oof.
let's face it, rejection is protection.
Mhm.
I think we've got a better attitude, even just thinking of the last 6 months as well, of anything that's happened. We probably would have catastrophized it
Yeah.
before, whereas now we almost are just like, oh well, move on to the
Mhm.
next thing. It's almost like we're not really that phased anymore if we get
Yeah.
some. I mean, there's not been great amount of rejections, but just a bit
No.
of kind of news that we weren't expecting, or a
Yeah.
bit deflated about
Or
something.
reaching out to somebody who's just ignores you,
Yeah.
or, because that's deflating.
Yeah, but then
you
life
think,
takes
"I've
over. Many times
I
do
know.
we think that we've
I know.
replied to someone when we actually
I know.
haven't, because we've been so busy.
Because in the case of the Academy, you're sometimes thinking, they are struggling for staff. This is the perfect solution for
Yeah.
them. And you reach out. But again, it's that somebody reading a couple of lines about what we can do for them.
I know.
It should be picking up the phone.
Yeah.
What happened to the good old days?
Yeah.
Not cold calling, because you're like,
cold call.
don't cold call
No.
anybody.
No.
But sometimes it's just that warm introduction and then following it up with
Well,
a
let's
wee,
face it, end date phones.
I
Us,
know.
we're like, we're not in, we're in a
I know.
meeting. So
too busy. I know.
I know.
But there's always those calls out there that could have changed their lives that we don't
Yeah.
take sometimes.
I think it's
there's
more
elements.
about the connections you meet and
Yeah.
build. So obviously we had some really good news this week. So we work with One Spa in
Mm-hmm.
Edinburgh, and they've just taken on the spa traineeship. It's new to them and they have loved every minute of
Yeah.
it. And we had a lovely time with them this week. I went in and mock assessed the girls before their exams, and we had good discussions about like future work together. So,
Yeah.
and like Fiona, who's the spa director, I've no doubt that she'll sing our praises to other
Yeah.
people in the industry because she's had such a good experience. And I think that's what will
Yeah.
make the academy grow more.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We talked about that with Fiona and Sadia the other day about the networking events that we
Yeah.
were used to go to, and then everybody was feeling kind of, they're a bit samey.
Yeah.
You know, we need something a bit new. We need to kind of zhuzh it up a wee bit,
Yeah.
you know, try something a wee bit different rather than just going to the same thing where it's the same format every year.
Same people as well.
But that's hard for those companies as well. What
I
do you do
know,
differently?
I
How do
know.
they change it up? Because people need to know what the suppliers need to showcase their goods. You know, the spas and
You
hotels
just
need to
wonder
do
what
it.
the suppliers actually get out of it.
I know.
We
Some of them will
chatted
get
about
something.
that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Of
Some
you
of them
kind
will
of
get
feel
new
bad
people.
because you're just like, well, I'm not really interested. I'm here for the talks on stage and
Yeah.
stuff. But I know this is part of it, that you have to
Yeah.
meet and greet the suppliers. So
And again, coming from their side of it, how else do they showcase themselves?
know.
It's the perfect platform
yeah,
for
to
them.
do it, I know.
And you never know. It's like us. It's like that one day that they meet somebody that is looking for a new
Yeah.
product and they come across them at Spa Life or UK
Yeah.
Spa or whatever. And we're the same. We could be sitting next to somebody at one of these events and they say, oh, pleased to meet you. What do you do?
Yeah.
And we say, oh, we do this. And they go, oh my God, you're the answer to my prayers. And then
Yeah.
that's how it happens. So,
Do you know what does rip my knitting though? See, see, sitting at these events, so think I was 5 years ago even. I know we've been in the academy 9 this year, but 5 years ago we were so scared, so new to the networking side of things. There was maybe certain people that didn't even acknowledge
Yeah.
us, but now that we're making a name for ourselves, all of a sudden you're getting,
Yeah.
hey, DMs and, oh, wonder if my business will help you do this and that. And it's like, well, where were you all those years
Yep.
ago?
Yep.
That really irritates me. So, so yes, rejection is protection. So we're all a great believer, God, universe, whatever it is, that if there's something that stops you in your path, even no matter how much you want it, it's for the greater good, and
Yep.
something else will come along. And
100%. And
we
you
have
learn
found
from it.
that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Over and over again. And as much it's maybe discomfort at the time, there definitely has something much more.
Yeah. I think we've
fruitful in
become
the
a wee bit
future.
bulletproof now as well
Aye.
because we've
I
had so
genuinely
many
don't
things in the
think-
past.
Like, I don't want to.
Don't put it
I
out there.
know, touch wood.
Don't you dare
I'm
say
just like,
there's nothing that can
I
shock me.
genuinely don't think we could actually be hit with anything else.
We've had a fair variety of things, so that's good. So we've learned from all those things. We're much more mature for it, and we can
Aye.
cope with things much better now.
Thicker skin. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
I
though.
know it makes you a wee bit desensitised, doesn't
Aye.
it? Dehumanised.
Cold maybe, I don't know. I do feel like sometimes, see, when we hear things and we're like eye rolling at each other, and then I just think, God, all those years ago we probably wouldn't eye rolled at
know.
this, but you do become a bit desensitised.
You get hardened in this industry
I
because you
know.
have to, because people take
shit over you.
nothing like being shot on. Yeah.
I
so,
know,
I know. We are very bad though. Like, you know, somebody's a wee bit dramatic and we're like,
I know. I can't do the drama.
but that is because we've had the knocks of life. It makes you hard.
It makes you resilient.
It makes you be like, oh, for
I
God's
know.
sake.
And I think it's don't sweat the small stuff. There was something that happened recently. One of our therapists, she's amazing, but she has a wee hard time of it as well. She's a single mum. There's a lot going on in her kind of family background.
She's an unsung hero, that
She
girl,
really
what she
is.
does.
She
Everything she
is.
goes through in her life, she literally doesn't
You would
get
never
the,
know.
No.
She's not dramatic. She comes in and gets on with work. She never lets us down.
She's always smiling.
Caitlin, we're talking about
Aye.
you. We love you. But it's just, you hear like people moaning and groaning about things, and you're just like, right, can we
I
put things
know.
into
I know.
perspective?
Can you take a day in that lassie's life?
I know.
And then come and moan
I know. It's
when you've
just,
had one day in her shoes?
and I get everything's relative to people's lives, but I think sometimes people just need to stop and take
Yeah.
stock and look at what's going round about them, their teammates, their
Yeah.
friends, their family,
Yeah.
and realise there's a bigger picture going
I
on.
know.
That
I know.
you're
It's
actually-
always the wee small things that
you're
people
very
are
lucky.
sweating. You know,
Yeah.
it feels important at the time, whether it's not being able to find a dress for a wedding or I've been baffling
know,
on about
Kate's
this
so dramatic.
blooming wedding for ages. But
You think she was getting married?
I know, you think it was my child that was getting married. But, you know, I'm just talking about the things that you talk about on a day-to-day basis. And I'm sometimes after it, I'm like, God, I was prattling on there and that
Oh,
person's going through
we
it.
all do it.
That
but
person's going through something and I'm
yeah, I think
moaning.
particularly yesterday,
Yeah.
there was like lots going on, and we were just like, seriously, like look what's going on in Caitlin's life
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So
And she was still in,
she
still
was still in,
smiling,
still smiling,
still offering to come
I
to work
know.
and bringing our
She's a wee
kids in one of the
soul. I
days because
know. Rather
rather
than
than let
phoning
us
in
down.
sick and letting us down,
Aye.
she brought her kids in, and they're amazing
Yeah.
kids. They just sat there in the
Mhm.
staff room. But what a
That's
team
it.
member. Big shout out to
I know.
Caitlin.
Definitely.
So going back to when we were saying just at the start of the podcast that like this year I've kind of realised that there's no enjoyment anymore, and I am terrible for like constantly striving for that next goal.
We're not starting a new business, Jenny.
I don't want I just really don't want to. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but I really don't want to.
No more.
But I think the biggest lesson that we've always believed we can succeed, but we've actually struggled with enjoying it.
hmm
And success isn't the finish line anymore. When when is the finish line? Do
Aye.
you know? It's
That's it. You know, you think about, you look at 5 or 10 years from now, what's our outcome? What is it we want in 10 years' time? Do we want to wrap it in a big bow and sell it to somebody else? Do we
Yes.
want our team?
I'm like kidding.
Do we want our team to grow into it and let them
I
have
know.
it, run
Well,
it?
we've spoken about that kind of business model, hasn't we? My friend is the director of a marketing company, and they've done the whole basically, well, the almost like the staff own
Yeah.
the business
Yeah.
now kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's maybe thought for
Mhm.
in the future. We were talking about franchising at one point. That's maybe, I don't know, something along. You just don't know, don't you? It's like you have all these ideas, but sometimes it doesn't even pan out that way,
No.
and something better comes along.
Yeah, you just don't know
Yeah.
what the twist and turn. Because put it this way, salons will always be there.
Yeah.
I
of
was
course.
listening this morning on the radio and they were talking about after kids were getting their exam results and things today, and the amount of kids, as much as they got great results and the career that they were thinking about, they're now looking at non-AI generated
I
careers.
heard that as
Things
well.
that people will always need.
Yeah.
Plumbers, joiners, electricians,
They've been
tradesmen.
saying that for a long time
Yeah,
now.
you know, like engineers, all the things that will never be replaced by
But
AI.
they say that, right? It'll not be replaced by AI, but look what's happening in our industry right now. There's talks about replacing beauty therapists with some sort of robotic AI.
Yeah.
So what's to say that wouldn't happen in a
Yeah.
trade as well?
But we've been hearing that for 5 years.
Yeah,
at
I
the
know it's
events
never
we've went to, and
happened,
it's never
but-
happened yet. But
but it's
because
not to say
people
it
want human
wouldn't.
touch.
And of course they do. They want
Yeah.
connection and stuff,
Yeah.
but it is uncertain
Yeah.
though for our future.
And again, there's so many gadgets on social media, TikTok, all these places now where you can do your own eyebrows at home, do your own dermaplaning at home. So people will
Good
take
luck
that.
with your beard.
Yeah. You'll be going to the barber soon. It's like, you know, if that's for you, if that's your budget, if you don't have the money to go out and do something, you know, treat
I think that
yourself.
some people have the mindset it looks easy.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. No, 100%.
We perfected our trade over many years.
Yeah, I know.
Thank
I
you.
know.
So
That's a different episode. Let's talk about that
Aye.
episode.
don't get me started. Right, okay. Well, we round off this episode. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes because I'm flicking through stuff for another episode, but I want to go to the end because I put a couple of wee notes at the end. What is your biggest superpower and biggest flaw?
Oh.
So I put mine into ChatGPT
Mm-hmm.
to see, because obviously over the past year that if I've maybe put in some ideas to get structure in place, or like we're doing a fun event soon for Lindsay. So she's got
yeah.
Guillain-Barré syndrome and she wants to raise money for
The
the
rehabilitation centre.
centre in Stirling because they're fantastic with her, got her back walking again. So we're like, right, let's have a event, raise some money. So I was like, I'm back and forth with ChatGPT trying to get structures in place for stuff like that. And it's funny, you just think, what does ChatGPT think of me like when I'm putting these things in over
He
time?
talks to me now like he knows me.
Aye, because I have my own version of it, but it'd be interesting because I'm putting my thoughts into
Yeah.
what it says. So what I came out with was my biggest superpower is turning times of struggle into lessons and being able to overcome.
I'd be
And-
interested to see what mine was actually.
My biggest flaw is that I set much higher standards for myself than I would for anyone else, and I'm my own worst critic.
Wow. I must try that actually.
Yeah. So
Because it's funny when it comes back to you, and like I wanted to do like cash flows for one of the businesses, and then I went in and tried to kind of do something similar, and it came back and it was saying to me, Kate, I know what you like with this, and
Yeah.
I know that this is how you like to structure things. So what about doing this? And I'm like, God, I've been using this so much
Yeah.
recently that it actually knows what
It's
I
a bit
want.
scary, but
I
I
know, I
it
know,
is. It's like
I know.
morphing into you.
Sometimes I'm putting things in thinking, should I be telling him this? Is he going to use this against me in the future?
What you could do is do a wee quick chat
Aye,
GPT,
I
and then the
will.
next episode,
Next
you
episode I'll
could
do
read
mine.
it out.
Yeah.
However, the now
I know
I'll
my
give
biggest flaw.
I'll give you your biggest flaw
Oh,
and what I
wow.
think your biggest superpower is, and then you give me
Oh
it.
my God, I need time to think about yours. But on you go, right? Go for it.
So I think your biggest superpower is coping, like like you're not human in really stressful circumstances. Like I'm like,
Aye.
"Ah!" and you're just so calm and collected, and you might have a wobble behind the scenes, but it's just like something comes down,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
I think my husband would agree with that because
Yeah.
he'll say to me sometimes, "Are you even human?"
I,
The way you're reacting to this, I'm like, "It's
I
fine.
know.
Everything will be all right."
I think your biggest flaw is self-doubt and procrastination.
Procrastination, I know that's my biggest flaw because I think about it, I think about it, I think about it, and then I just don't. Half the
Yeah.
time, I let myself down by not actually putting it into place because I've thought about it too much and I talk myself down.
But that's self-doubt.
Aye, that is self-doubt, of course it
It's
is.
just like, what's the worst that can happen?
I know. I think that's a kind of a generational thing. I think generations now are much more confident in themselves. I think my generation, I'm a between. There was before me, there was more confidence.
You're the boomers.
I know. But I just think that that's for me. Or is it an upbringing thing? You know, my family, I look at my grandparents and things like that, and none of them had not big aspirations, but none of them pushed themselves. You know, they were
Yeah.
just happy with the wee jobs they done,
Yeah.
and they thought the neighbour across the road was better than them. And because she
Aye.
worked she works in the chemist, you know, she's a great, my gran would be like, oh, I'm just a cleaner. So I think that could be an upbringing thing again, how we always talk about that
Aye.
whole,
Do you know what
where
I
your
think,
habits
I
come
suppose what I
from.
remember is because I've always been quite feisty, because my brother's always been the quiet one, and he's always knuckled down, work hard,
Yeah.
like, whereas I was a bit the
Aye,
live
this, do
wire.
that.
My mum and dad repeatedly growing up, like even just my aunts and uncles, been like, she'll never let MD stand on her toes. She'll
Yeah.
never let MD get in her way
Yeah.
of what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And I
Whereas I'm
suppose,
easy Ozzy. I'm a
Aye.
completely different nature to that. You know, I'm like, you crack on if you've got the drive. On you go. I'll get out your road. Pass me by. On you go.
like, "Rrr."
So I am more laid back, and again, it's that coping thing. It's just
Yeah.
obviously it's just a nature thing. It's just the way people are different. So
Mhm.
because you are fiery, so I would say that's your superpower. You know, is that?
Oh, I thought you
whole-
would say that was my biggest flaw.
No, it's definitely like, you know, I'm done. That's it. To protect yourself. I think it's a
Aye.
power for you to protect yourself, whereas I let people
I
hurt me
protect
because
my
I don't.
peace as well.
Yeah.
I'm very good at setting boundaries. I'm
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I don't know where that's came from, but I'm just like,
Aye, is it a superpower or a flaw? I suppose
Aye.
if you look, depending on how you look at things, it could be both.
aye.
But I think that's a power that you have that you, maybe not a superpower, but it's a power you have that you don't let people affect you, that you just go, nah,
No.
I'm not letting that person in, and I'm just not doing that. That's it.
I know.
I'm
I
trying to
find no
think.
quite easy.
I know. I'm the opposite.
I know.
Aye, no bother. Aye, that's fine.
I'm like, nah, it's not for me.
You'll
Sound-
say to me, Kate,
I
no.
know.
Say no.
I
And I'm
know.
like, it's all right.
I'll
Just
be
do
like,
it this
no,
once.
that sounds like the biggest face ache.
Yeah.
No. Right, hit me with it. What's my biggest flaw?
Oh, well, I have a bit of it as well. It's control.
I knew you would say
Yeah.
that because I know it myself.
Yeah.
I know it myself.
You have to do everything, not just yourself, but your way. It's just like, right, okay, no, we're going over here and we're doing it this way. So, and again, because I am that nature, I'm just like, all right. If it's something that I had real belief in, and I would be
Aye.
like, nah. But it's very rarely that happens. I'm just like, aye, whatever.
I know, I'm such a control freak.
But I thought I was a control freak before I
Till
worked
you
with
met me.
you. I genuinely thought I need to do everything my way because I need to do it right. And I
Aye.
still do with certain ways that I do things, or at home, or how I do my day or whatever. I've got that, but I know you're
Half the
on
skill.
crack. Control on crack.
I'll need to go to therapy about that one. 'Cause I keep saying I'm trying to change and it's not working.
But
Although
again,
I've-
that's your
I've let
protection thing.
the reins off with the academy. I feel like I've
Yeah, you have.
massively made.
Because up until before Carol came along, you just
No.
wouldn't have.
She even said to me as well, but she actually, which was lovely, she's like, I recognise the work that's went in here and I recognise it's your baby and you were probably hit with a lot of negativity in the
Yeah.
beginning of how it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah. And scared to
that
let that
was a
go.
protection thing for me, and it's I'll show you, because it will
Mhm.
work, and
Mhm.
it has worked. But that's why I'm so like, it needs to be delivered
Yeah.
this way, because that's the way it works.
Yeah.
So I suppose, but now I'm like, yeah, put your own materials in. Yeah, so I think she's a bit like, do I, don't I? She testing me. I don't know what.
Is that a trick? I'm going to put this in. She's going to go, Carol, that's Carol, just keep going.
Just do
You'll
it,
break her
Carol.
down. Just keep going. Just keep chipping
She's-
away at her.
she's
She'll be
breaking
fine.
me.
Right, well, we
Yes.
wind this one up.
Yes, so
That was a
thank
good
you
wee
for
episode.
having us, and thanks for having us back.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, share, subscribe, and keep listening. And if you've got any subjects you want us to talk about, send them in. If you've got any stories that you want us to share, so that we let
Yeah.
us see our naughty sides.
You know that we know a story.
Oh, aye,
Pretty there.
that's dangerous. We got into trouble the last time,
Aye, maybe not.
so let's know. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Tell me what it takes to get your feet